Greetings, YouTube. I don't really know what to show video-wise for a video like this. I mean, there are obviously things I can talk about in regards to content, but a couple things before I begin. First off, I truly believe, and I'll probably get pushback from some people from saying this, but I truly believe Kabam is doing everything they can to improve the game. I don't think, despite the conspiracy theories about Kabam wanting people to spend more units on potions and revives, I don't believe it's in their best financial interest, and they know this, to have a broken game for this long. It has players get ticked off and be less likely to spend money. It has players be ticked off and less likely to be motivated to open the game in general. And so when Kabam says we tested a patch and we really believe this is going to help in a forum post, I believe they mean it. I don't believe they're blowing hot air. I don't believe that this is some public relations attempt. I think they really do believe that it's improving. With that being said, I woke up this morning to find I counted 16 messages, and there's probably more that I missed, between the Line app, between Twitter, and even direct emails into my Gmail of people saying, "Prof, I downloaded the new patch, and the game works worse than ever." I've had people tell me that in a span of 15 minutes, the game crashed 4 times on them. And I always ask, okay, what device do you use? Maybe it's an older device, like an iPhone 6 or an Android phone from 5 years ago. A lot of times they're saying it's an iPhone like I use, a 10 or later, or an Android phone that is at most 2 years old, which I don't believe. I mean, I've never used an Android phone, but I can't believe that an Android phone 2 years ago would suddenly be such a dinosaur that it's like, oh, well, then that's their fault. They need to get one that's 1 year old. I've also had posts from people who've said that they've got the brand newest iPhone Pro and the best Samsung Galaxy phones, etc., and it's still causing issues. We just got done, and I'm sure some of you are still in the process of doing day 5 of Alliance Quest. You can see my my BG in our double map 5 and 1 map 6. My game before the patch crashed twice, after the patch crashed once, as the fight was starting. It is so frustrating to go into a node and to hit fight and then the game crashes. And, you know, I know Kabam's trying to catch people who for a long time depended on restarting a fight whenever they were losing, and they don't want those players, they don't want that to be a cheat code, right? And they've eliminated that for the most part from Alliance Quest and Alliance War. But the system is so sensitive to games that quit, which of course a game crash tells the server the same thing as a game force quit, that I will have hit fight and I'm still on the fight screen. It hasn't said go yet. You know, it hasn't started the fight. And yet I'll lose half my health every time. And to me, like, that's so frustrating because there should be a window of time, and I feel like they've done this in the arena somehow. Like, the arena match will have concluded, but it hasn't said the conclusion screen, and my app will quit on me, and I'll refresh it. And more oftentimes than not now, it used to be there was a server error and you just lose the fight and you lose points, and that was a way to lose your infinite streak. This happened 2 out of 3 times in one round of the arena. But now, more often than not, it counts the fight somehow. And I'm like, oh, good. And maybe I'm the only person who's noticed that, but I'm guessing probably not. There's probably somebody watching this who's like, yeah, I've seen that too in the arena. But the opposite is true with Alliance Quest and I'm guessing Alliance War, where it's so sensitive to the force quit that if you hit the fight button, even if there's that moment where you haven't gone from the fight screen to it, you're screwed. And so crashes have been happening like crazy. I went into incursions with my Battle Realm bestie, Katie Candy, 2 nights ago. This was before the patch. But not only did Parry and Dexterity Network, we both saw the craziest things when it came to dash inputs. I received tweets this morning when I woke up from a couple people saying that when they're swiping back, their champion either is holding block or dashing forward. It's like reverse controls, only without the node. I've noticed this morning that some champs start the fight and it's like the game thinks I'm holding block, and no matter what I do, I'm always going to be holding block. And so I have to pause it. I have to kind of flip my screen. I minimize the game. I bring it back up. Most of the time, it still doesn't work. And that's before the lag inputs. I know that there's something called confirmation bias in humanity, and in this community especially, where there are people who aren't subscribed to me, who don't watch me daily or even weekly, who only seem to get shared videos that are critical of Kabam to reinforce their perception that I'm just this guy who likes to make clicks on YouTube by complaining about the game. And I take some comfort in knowing that the real subscribers, of which there are many of this channel, know that I've produced so many positive, praising videos where I've done nothing but just say Kabam's doing a great job here. Yesterday was a fine example with them being transparent about wanting to give us a big compensation package. And yes, I heard the backlash from you all about the progression base. But regardless, they want to give a big compensation package as also just a thank you for sticking with them, as the game has been more broken than ever since, early July, late June. So I know there are going to be people who see this who maybe don't even watch the video and say, oh, here's negative Nancy. I always joke about the champion Mr. Negative is me, because people always say I'm Mr. Negative on YouTube. But I don't want to make videos in which I have 16 people contact me with both Apple and Android issues with the new patch. Like, I don't wake up thinking, how can I vent about the game today? I'm just reporting what the community brings to me. If I got 16 messages saying, Prof, the problems I faced are gone, there's no lag, there's no game crashes, I would love to make that video. But I didn't receive those messages today. So my job as a multimedia journalism professor is to report the information that the community is bringing me, and to try to do it in a way that's not sensational or hypercritical. It's just factual. And when I bring up Alliance Quest, or I bring up parry or dexterity, I don't do this with excitement. I'm not sitting here being like, oh yes, I can't wait to post this video, can't wait to get some clicks. Like, that's just not me. And I think most people who watch my channel can believe that. Some people never will. But I want the game to be fixed. As much as I like compensation packages, I like a fixed game more, because no matter what the compensation packages end up being, you end up feeling like it doesn't replace the frustration you get emotionally and maybe even unit-wise because of how the game is broken. Like, it's just not going to make up for it, even if they're good. So, all I'm here to tell you is that the information that's been brought to me by several different communication outlets has been critical of the new patch, particularly when it comes to the overall belief that for some people it's actually made the game worse, not better. I want to conclude this video, less than 10 minutes, as always I try to do when I can. I want to conclude this video by asking, what problems have you seen since the new patch? Or, please tell me if you've seen no problems and you think it's helped. I want all honest information. I don't care if it praises Kabam. I don't care if it's critical, as long as it's factual. But this is the kind of thing that sometimes will be deleted on the forums, and that's what's great about having a YouTube channel, is that I know that I control this video. And so, yeah, if people spam fake comments or, rude comments, I can delete those. But for the most part, I leave things untouched because I want it to be like the equivalent of a forum post where you can feel free to comment and not be silenced because you're being critical of the game. Or, maybe, again, you aren't critical. Maybe you're praising it, and that's great too. Have a great rest of your day, YouTube. Thanks for watching.